Hey everyone, this is Ari Fitz.
Hi.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea how excited I am to talk to you right now.
It's amazing.
You're amazing. You're actually so amazing. We were just talking about this backstage, but you are on Instant's new Fame list this year.
So amazing.
We released a new Fame list. You can check it out at newfamelist.com. You can see all your favorite creators like Ari on it.
There were some really great people. I was in great company.
Great, yeah. Just great company. VidCon is great company.
Are you guys enjoying this? Are you guys enjoying VidCon so far? Yeah? Cool.
Yes. So
Awesome.
we actually didn't talk about this backstage, but I'm guessing this is not your first VidCon.
It's my second.
We did say that.
It's my second VidCon, but already I feel like every time it feels like a fresh one. Like it feels like the first one. Like it's amazing.
I feel like when you're here, it feels like you've been here for months. Like I feel like it's been a whole year, and like I'm a different person now.
After this, I'm going to need like an entire week to sleep, to rest. Like I'm gonna need like gallons of water.
Somehow I feel like you're not gonna get that though, because you're that's your busy life. But what has been your favorite experience here so far?
Well, actually, my favorite part is that everyone comes here. Like, there's so many friends, so many other creators that I haven't seen in forever. And people that I've, like, had relations, like, you all have, like, those digital relationships, like, those Twitter friendships. Like, I actually met everyone just today and yesterday. So that's my favorite part. Yeah, I've met a lot of
some of your favorite people to meet.
Are you familiar with Olivia Has Two Moms? Do you all know the cute? Yeah, they're adorable. So I met Olivia for the first time today, and I've watched her grow up on the internet. So it was so cool to like meet her in person.
I think that has to be one of the best parts for people who have been coming to VidCon since like 7 years ago. I think this is like its 8th year now. Just to see people grow up year by year and change. And we've talked to a lot of people who their first VidCons, like they were here like on the other side, like doing meet and greets with people like, oh, I want to meet you. And now, they're behind the lines.
Yeah, now they need like an escort to get around anyway.
Right. I'm sure. It's just so crazy and kind of exhausting. But what is
it's like the best kind of exhausting?
It is. Yeah. What is your ultimate like survival tip just to like keep energized and stay awake?
I mean, I gotta just be honest, probably liquor. I don't know. Just probably drinking. It's just like if you start to like lose a little bit of your energy, just get some alcohol and you're fine.
I can always count on
actually, gum. Gum wakes me up. Like if I'm feeling like I don't have the energy, I'll get some gum and I'll like immediately, like the minty freshness wakes me right up.
Yep. The minty fresh. Have you ever chewed gum and then like just as soon as you chew gum, drink some water and it like your mouth is on fire? It makes the
gum,
mintiness.
Like, right now.
I know. I wish it would be so like in the microphone, like, but it makes the mintiness just like blow up for a hot minute. It's almost too much.
So after this, we're gonna go and like chew gum together. Would that qualify as a date? I don't know.
I think so.
Like, is a date like actually just chewing gum and like hanging out?
A whole pack of gum, maybe.
Okay.
We'll each do a whole pack of gum and drink some water.
It's a date.
I'm in.
It's a date. Done.
So, I mean, you've already gotten like pretty real with us so far, and I think that's what you're known for. And it's kind of gotten you to like some pretty great, doing some great things this year. Like we saw you at Out Web Fest this year. So you want to tell us about that? How was that?
It was so wild. So I remember actually when they reached out. So Reverie is the company that kind of like put it together, and I got an email, and it was like one of the worst days ever because I had basically a flight that I ended up missing my flight basically, and I was in the airport for like 16 hours, and I was just so stressed, and my phone was dying.
Wait, what airport?
The DC airport.
DC. Okay.
I was in DC. And so I got this phone call from Reverie, and they're like, hey, we want to tell you something. And they're like, we're going to honor you at Out Web Fest. And I was like, wait, what? And they're like, yeah, you, Gigi Gorgeous, and Tyler Oakley, we're going to honor the 3 of you. And I was like, okay, hold on. First off, those 2 names I don't fit in that. Those 2 names are great. They're amazing.
Did you mean to call me? Like,
yeah, I'm like, I think you got the wrong number, bro. Like, it's not me. And so I immediately like lit up, and then everything after that was great. My flight actually arrived, and then when I showed up and I walked the carpet and I met Gigi and I met Tyler, I was like, it's so awesome how YouTube allows for us to just do this. Like they've been killing it, and I got the Velocity Award, so it was like basically that I'm like up and coming.
Yeah.
And it's so cool that like we all have the instruments to kind of tell our stories, and it only gets better and better. And so I don't know, it was wild to stand there and to receive that award. It's a heavy award too. It was like I was trying to
it looked heavy. And that was like the first of its kind, right? I think that's like the first year they did it.
Yeah.
You are the first. You can always say that now.
I think I'm going to be smiling this whole time because you're just going to flatter me too much. I can't handle the love and affection. But it was a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. Yeah. And it was dope. I got to meet Hannah as well backstage.
Yeah, so tell us, how was it meeting, like, these legends, basically?
Yeah. I am one of those people that, like, never wants to, like, I always try my best not to fangirl. I'm just like, no, I don't want to be that person. But the moment I met all three of them, I was like, oh, hi, hello.
I think they like it. They like it.
They're incredible. And like the work that they do, it shows. And what I love most about it is it's gone beyond YouTube. Like I think Hannah's movie was showing on my flight. And so I was like, this is so cool that like now we have the tools and the means to get so much bigger and so much beyond like this platform and still be able to like touch the same people that we do with our videos. So I was just in awe of all of them.
Well, is that something you kind of see for yourself happening eventually, kind of continuing on branching out beyond YouTube to kind of relay these same messages you've been relaying and just kind of get yourself out there?
Yeah, I think right now I'm in a really great place where I never want to leave YouTube. Like YouTube is my baby. My YouTube channel is actually my love and my first baby. But it's cool that now I'm starting to get opportunities where I can take what I'm doing on YouTube and reach more audiences through film and TV and movies and all that stuff. And so the one thing I never want to do though is leave my channel. I think it's so easy to kind of get like in awe and like kind of enraptured with like all the other stuff. But at the end of the day, I love that I can just have a camera and talk to it and be vulnerable and be open and reach my audience directly without having like a team of people like look it over before.
So would you say this is like your absolute dream job?
Absolutely. Are you serious? You see what I do? I wake up hungover. I turn on my camera. I'm probably not wearing pants. Most of the time, there are no pants involved. And then I just bare my soul, and people like resonate with that. It's the coolest thing. I'm so lucky to do what I do. It's awesome.
Look at that enthusiasm. Like you can really tell that like when someone is actually into what they do. And I was also talking to Luzu about this yesterday. He was saying like we were both like it's kind of cool to be your own boss. Like you're the boss of you.
It is.
That seems like a
you
book.
create your own hours.
Yeah.
I don't have to get a lunch break.
And yeah, you roll out of bed and just kind of.
You don't have to wear pants. Like again, if you all are considering becoming creators, if you're not already, understand it's a pants-free environment sometimes. That's a beautiful thing. It really is.
Pants-free, no pants zone.
I have to wear pants right now. I'm like, it's like, darn.
We definitely have to talk about your YouTube channel at some point on the stage, but I kind of wanted to go back because we talked about you being in DC and you went to DC Pride, which like, I don't think I got the chance to go to LA Pride, but I'm sure DC Pride was like 10 times that. So tell me, how was it?
Capitol Pride.
What did you do there?
Highly, highly recommend. It's like we're celebrating in the nation's capital.
Yeah.
Of course they have to like
That's
set the standard. It was beautiful. I was out there and I actually was there with Vice. And I did 44 interviews, similar to what you're doing right now.
Did you flatter people too?
I did, actually. That's why I was like, oh, I see your game. I know how this works.
Oh, yeah.
But I did 44 interviews, and I met with so many interesting stakeholders and like people who are making like laws that like affect the way that I live.
Yeah.
And that was just humbling because it's so awesome to meet the people that like decide that I can actually be open and live the way that I do. And I mean, let's be real. Like part of the reason why my channel started to grow is because I was open about the fact that I love women and the fact that I'm like a part of the LGBT plus family. Yeah. Yes, absolutely. No, I'm gay as fuck. Everyone knows that. So I think the really, really awesome relatable. But the really cool thing about being there was that when I was in DC, I got to meet people who were like, no, we want to make sure that you never feel like you have to hide yourself, that you never feel like you can't exist in a space. And for someone to get that, and then for us to like party next to each other, I was like, oh, this, it just makes me feel good when I got back to LA, and when I got back home to like make the videos that I do. I'm like, they're doing their work there. Let me hold up my side of the bargain and tell everyone that you can live and exist in however you want to. And yeah, so it was humbling as hell, and also just like it gave me a lot of purpose.
Wow, it sounds. I can't even wrap my head. I can't wrap my head around it. You just like literally walked us through your thoughts, and like it's very inspiring. Just like to see how that like has affected you, and hopefully I'm sure you affected people when you were there as well.
Oh wow, the coolest thing happened.
Yeah. Oh yeah, tell us.
This like beautiful young woman had basically, she sketched, I want to say 27 of my Instagram photos. And like she sketched them.
No
and
way.
then she was just gonna drop off the gift and not even like say anything to me. And I like opened it as she was walking away, and I was like, oh no, you need a hug. You're giving me a hug. I don't care. So I like brought her in, she started crying. And it was like, it's just, I never think about the people on the other side of the camera sometimes. Like sometimes I just, like a lot of my videos can be like therapeutic. So sometimes I just sit and I start talking about like someone kind of like a hate crime that happened to me, or I start talking about like, you know, how I fell in love for the first time. And I don't really think about sometimes how those messages will actually affect the other person on the other side of the camera until I meet them. And I'm like, oh my God, you actually watched this shit? Why? Like, why would you do that?
I see a face now.
Yeah.
I mean, do you read comments then?
Oh, yeah.
You do?
All the time.
Yeah. So
I sometimes I have to stop because sometimes they're not positive. Sometimes it is like, well, actually today I just released a great video. I collaborated with CNN, and we did a video on tomboy swimwear. And like, you know, for a lot of us, queer otherwise, sometimes when you go to the beach, it's hard to feel comfortable in your skin to like show that off. And if you're not, I guess if you're not like very clear when it comes to how you perform your gender, it can be really, really crippling to go to the beach. You're like, do I wear a bikini? Do I wear a Speedo? Am I naked? Like, I don't know how to get dressed for the beach. And so we released this video with CNN, and the comments are the most terrifying, horrendous, disgusting things I've ever seen. People are like, death threats, etc.
Kidding me.
Oh, yeah. It's disgusting.
Some people just don't know when their comments aren't wanted. Yeah. Like, hasn't anyone heard, if you don't have anything nice to say, you don't say anything at all? Like, truly. Like, you have to take the energy to type out that kind of comment.
Yes.
But, I mean, either way, I think that's such a cool concept. And you seem to be really into the idea of, like, bending the gender norms when it comes to fashion and stuff. Like, obviously, like, first of all, you look amazing.
Thank you.
There I am with the flattery.
Do you guys like the fit? All right. I'll pop it a little bit. Okay, cool.
Thank you for that. But along with that,
it was a really horrible pop.
No, it's fine. Well, along with that, you kind of pretty recently announced on your channel your documentary that you've been making. So again, tell us about that.
So a lot of my work, I feel like I don't know, this is gonna get, maybe it's like too much, but I really do think like my calling is to like really challenge the way that we perceive beauty. Because I think I never saw anyone like myself in movies, in film or TV, hell, on YouTube. I like hardly ever saw anyone that looked like me, that was a brown, androgynous woman. And so a lot of the work that I choose to do is about challenging the way that we perceive femininity, challenging the way that we perceive masculinity and motherhood and beauty. And so that project is so dear to my heart. It really is. So the documentary is My Mama Wears Tims, and it's about a young, pregnant, butch/stud, butch woman who like prefers menswear. And when you're looking at maternity like photo shoots, normally you see a woman in the flower crown on the beach. And I'm like, I've never seen, like, that's not me. That's not me.
And
so
the flowy dress.
there's a flowy dress.
There's always a flowy
There's
dress.
Wen just, like, magically
it's
coming.
like it's a pregnant bride. It's always like a pregnant bride or something.
Like, if you Google pregnant bride right now, you'll actually, that's exactly what you'll see.
Yeah.
But My Mama Wears Thames is really a film that just tells a story about what you do when, or basically just looking at the fact that motherhood comes in all different forms. Like, because I chose to wear sneakers today doesn't mean that I no longer have a womb. I can still very much give life.
I need my Tims.
Yeah. Actually, I will definitely be in Tims if I were to get pregnant.
Oh yeah.
So, what would you wear? See, now the interview's going back. What would, if you were to have
wow.
Like,
you
baby.
put me on the spot.
Yeah.
What would I like?
What's
shoes wise, or just the whole thing?
The whole thing. What would be your pregnant look?
I would not wear heels. I'll tell you that. I've seen that happen.
That's a hard question. I'm gonna ask you at the end of it.
Okay, let me think that over. I'm leaning towards like fuzzy slippers.
Yes, like the Fenties, like the Pumas.
Fenty Pumas.
Yeah.
I actually have a pair. What?
I hope so. I would hope so.
But tell me, so how? I guess bring us back to like the very beginning, before this movie was an idea.
Yeah.
Did you kind of get it after meeting this woman? Like, how did you guys meet to begin with?
Yeah, so I originally had met her when I did a couple's tomboyish lookbook with her and her wife. And then I got a tweet, and she's like, "Oh, by the way, you already know this, but I'm pregnant. We should just do a video." Mm-hmm. And the more I thought about it, I was like, "No, I don't want it. I want this to be big." And so after we like tweeted back and forth, and I found out that her due date, turns out babies don't care about your projects. Mm-hmm. The baby wasn't gonna wait for me to be like, "Hey, let's like really plan this out." So I had to move really quickly. And
thoughtless.
How dare she? But we moved really fast. And immediately, I could just tell that people really wanted to see the project. Like when we put it on Indiegogo so we could raise like the money and stuff, to like properly, to do it better than I would. Mm-hmm. And when I put that out there, I got emails, I got tweets, I got comments that was like, "We need this. Like whatever you need, we need to see this story, because you're right, motherhood can coexist with Tims. Motherhood and masculinity can very much coexist, and for some reason, no one's telling that story. Like, in fact, part of the actual film is while I was filming it, I actually considered I considered carrying myself. And for so long, I never thought that was a possibility, because I was like, no, I look like this. Of course I'm not gonna carry.
Right.
That wouldn't look good with the outfit.
My crop top.
Yeah, my crop and my like baggy pants. But that's the whole thing, that like motherhood, masculinity, femininity, none of those really have to do with what you decide to wear in the morning. Your baby doesn't care what you put on. Your baby cares if you're feeding her, if you're playing, if you got her a fidget spinner, you know, like that's what your baby really cares about.
Just lay it on your stomach and
exactly.
spin it.
Exactly. But I think that project ended up getting so big to my audience, and also to me, because it just never had been done before. And no one ever said that, like, hey, you can actually rock Tims and be 6 months pregnant. It's totally fine.
So now that you've got us all excited about it, do you know when we can expect to see it?
I actually have some good news. Are you ready for this?
No, I'm not ready.
I'm going to unveil some news. So actually, we're going to screen the film at Buffer Festival. It's a great film festival for YouTubers in Toronto. So that's taking place end of September, and so I'll screen it there and then release it publicly.
Are you guys listening to this?
Yeah.
You guys are the first people to find this out.
Yeah, you guys are the first people to know that.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I got the email like 2 days ago. Yeah.
So we'll be flying out. If we were the Ellen show, we would give you all tickets to fly out, but unfortunately we're not.
You get a ticket. You get a ticket. You get a ticket.
Dude,
yeah, I'm so excited.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like that is the perfect place to jump to a game.
Are we doing it?
Yes, we have to do it. We have this jar called the Tmi Jar, which I thought would be perfect for Ari because her life is TMI.
The whole thing. I was telling her earlier, like, I wanted to go to the bathroom earlier. I was like, no, you have to go on stage. I'm like, but I really have to go.
I feel so bad. I definitely was trying to make that happy for you.
Fine.
So we'll only do like maybe 2 or 3, and then we'll
because I'm like holding in a fart as we talk. Okay, cool. All right, let's go.
I hear some laughs happening over there.
I'm going to move over here just in case it gets like too shitty. All right, we're going to just sit right here like this.
Oh my God, Ari.
I've been squeezing it in. My cheeks are very tight. Okay. All right. I have been. You guys, don't get close to me for real before this. All right. Ready? most awkward thing you've ever done in front of a crush. Hold in a fart. Okay. No, the most awkward thing I've ever done in front of a crush. That's actually really hard.
Yeah.
Because I embarrass myself all the time. Okay. I don't know if this really qualifies, but I was on a Tinder date. We were texting right before we met up, and she said she was really nervous, and I was like, I'm nervous too. And she said, you have to do something to like make me feel comfortable when we meet up. And so, without thinking, when we bumped into each other, when we saw each other at the barcade, I just fell. I just fell to the floor because I thought it would make her feel really comfortable. Except it really hurt because I like overcommitted. So I was like scrambling on the floor. It was literally like you're my date. Okay, so you're standing. We're walking.
I'm standing?
Up. Yeah. So I'm like coming up, right? And like I was like, oh.
Oh my God, Ari.
Hey. Hi. Nice to meet you. Hi. Pleasure. Yeah, that happened. Also, did I flash everyone? I probably did. All right. That's the most awkward thing I've ever done. Definitely.
Thank you for the commitment to your acting. Everyone give a round of applause. Round of applause. I think, that might have been,
weird.
I don't think we can top that. So thank you so much for joining us on stage. Thank you guys for watching.
You guys are so cute. I love this.
If you want to see more, check out at instant.me. We'll be posting these things. Thank you guys.